That's crazy. What? That's crazy.
Why is it crazy?
Because it's the reality. Like that's what's happening over there now, and it's like the fact that like all these kids are getting hurt for unnecessary reasons is pretty scary. So I can't feel their pain, but I can sure see it through pictures and everything, and it looks like it's not fun. It's definitely inhumane for sure. It's the reality.
Then, as you start to focus more on the details of the picture, you notice the little kid right in the very front and center has a flag painted on him, almost to show, a forcing of ideals that maybe he doesn't understand or believe in, but as he's taught to hate, almost, is what I come up with it. You see tanks that are like, replicated over and over again, kind of to show again that violence is almost like necessary. There's also a man with a belt of ammunition, as well as something covering his head. I really don't know what it would be called, but overall I'd say the picture, if there's one word, it would be chaos. The picture looks chaotic. A lot of things aren't how they should be. It's almost overwhelming. There's so many different details that you might not notice at first, that when once you start fixating on one thing, another thing comes into view, to the point where the entire picture is really disturbing. Generally just a violent picture, a lot of hate in the picture, I feel. If anything, the picture conveys one thing. No matter what type of warfare it is, whether we think it's justified or not, warfare is very cruel, it's very brutal to every single person, not just the people, not just the bad people, let's say, even though it's a very, innocent view of it. War kind of hurts everybody. It hurts the land, it hurts the people, it hurts the kids. So definitely I'd say this is it's a strong picture to help advocate for the stopping of general warfare, not just the one in Syria per se, but overall just being able to cease fighting.
So this picture's a little concerning. I'm a little disgusted. There's children around explosions, tanks. It seems like a violent area. I feel like if you zoom in, it looks like debris. You see a building. This isn't a happy picture. It's just a cause for concern. There's nothing good about this photo.
See this image, what comes to mind is that the effects of war and how it affects people in the country that the war is being fought at, and how it makes me feel that we should go out there and help them, because no country should be in a war, especially kids have the worst effect of it, because their families die, their brother and sister dies, their mom and dad might die. Yes, it motivates me to make a difference in this world, because even though America is doing good, it is our job as Americans to help out other countries.
Well, I honestly noticed that the picture has kind of like a past and a present. I don't know if it's just me, but like that's what I saw. That's what I interpreted the first time I saw it. And it shows that, kind of history repeats itself, and it's really sad that it takes us these atrocities that are happening right now in Syria to actually realize what is happening. I don't think that this should be the thing. Like, we already know history, we already understand what happened before. Like, why do we have to, see a kid crying for help or see a person just dying out of like chlorine gas to realize that this needs to change? Like, I think it goes beyond us. I understand like there's not much to do, and more like from this side of the world it's really hard to collaborate, but there's still ways that we can help. And it's just really sad, the fact that knowing that even if we do, like, let's say, we finish with the tyranny of al-Assad in Syria, and let's say like that is over, but who goes next? Like, at the end of the day, who's gonna come next? Like, it's gonna be still the terrorists, groups, because the rebels are shielded behind the terrorists, because that's their only way for them to defend themselves. So who's gonna come next? Is it gonna be Al-Qaeda? Is it gonna be ISIS? So like, it's obviously a failing state. Like, Syria and every like Middle Eastern country is currently failing just because the war is just too much to handle right now, and it's so more deep than what we think it is, that I believe that we need to understand like their point of view and understand our point of view too. Like, are we supposed to go in there? Are we supposed to help them? I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's the best way for us to go about this. Like, I cannot tell you, oh yes, you know, what Trump did of sending the missiles to Syria is a good idea. I don't know. Is it a bad idea? I don't know. Like, I honestly have no idea what is the good solution here. But like, what I do know is like, United Nations is not doing anything, right? I was in Model United Nations once, and I can tell you that like, yes, delegates do a lot for the countries, and yeah, you have to understand the situations of the countries, and you do work on diplomacy, but does it really work? Like, United Nations was kind of created for this fake world that we don't have, where if you tell someone, hey, can you please stop doing this, they're gonna do it. Is that true? Like, has that ever worked before? So I think like evidence speaks for itself, and we cannot do much with the facts that we have. But at the end of the day, you know, the whole refugee situation is like, I think like that's our first aid to these countries. Give them, you know, a little bit more of hope that they can still redeem, you know, everything that they have been going through, and they can still do a life for their children. They can still have a normal life. Like, there's kids that like their fear when they're 5, instead of being spiders, is being bombarded at your house. Like, I'm so privileged. I never had that fear. Like, did you have that fear? I don't think so. So, like, it goes beyond what our understanding. It goes beyond the Facebook posts and the Facebook shares, and it goes beyond the video, like the YouTube video. It goes beyond all of that. It goes beyond what you want to do as a person. Like, do you want to go volunteer? Do you want to go help those doctors that are like one standing hospital in Aleppo? Like, what do you want to do to change this? And like I said, I don't know what I want to do, because I don't know what's going to work. I honestly don't know. I do know that I'm not going to keep doing what everyone has done for the past years of just looking and sharing these horrible videos on Facebook of people dying. Like, instead, get like involved in your community. Go ahead and ask your representatives on Congress that you voted for. Ask them, like, what is our next step? What can I do? Can we do a brigade of just medications and stuff that they may need? You know, can we welcome them in our country? Give them jobs. Give them the opportunity to be who they want to be. Because these kids are not guilty of whatever atrocities other people have done in their country. Like, you're not guilty. Like, if you're German, you're not guilty of what Hitler did, right? Then it's the same thing. Like, why do they have to pay?